Like, okay, do I want to read every hate comment and take it personally and like really only look at those? Or do I want to like look at the system as it really is? So why does the negative one get so much impact?
Why do you care about the comments on the internet? It's not real life. Coach Greg, in today's video, we're getting personal with Sam Sulick. He was on the Chris Williamson podcast for over 2 hours, and so we're going to get to the nitty-gritty and see what exactly does he think, for example, about Mike Israetel and others.
So before I actually competed, I'd always describe myself as like I'd say a lifter.
And so the first thing they talk about is, are you actually a bodybuilder if you don't compete? And Sam says, you know what? I'm actually not. When I went to the gym, I just went to gym to lift weights. I was a lifter. And so I received a lot of criticism for saying Sam is not a bodybuilder until he sets foot in the gym, that he's a fitness enthusiast. And so he called himself a lifter. But following lifting for several years, he had the goal of, hey, I'm going to get up on stage. And at that point, he considered himself a bodybuilder.
Like when I'm working at arms, I'm not thinking like, okay, I need arms to be a little bit bigger so that I can beat this guy on stage. Like it's more so I want them to be bigger.
And so essentially he just wanted to get big. He was looking for something to replace the 4 hours a day he was doing by training for gymnastics. And he wanted to be good at something. You all knew he was a diver. Before that, he was a gymnast. And so Sam just had it in him. He worked hard. He was used to going to the gym to work out, to exercise every single day for hours on end. And so this was a replacement for him. Now, if you've been involved in sports when you're younger, perhaps you played football, soccer, basketball. And once you get older, you don't play those team sports perhaps. And so you're looking for an outlet. And for Sam, it was bodybuilding. For me, also bodybuilding, but in addition to that, powerlifting and triathlons, and now I'm into cycling. And so those of you who are athletic, you will do sports, hopefully, for the rest of your life.
Mike Israetel had some back surgery thing on him.
If I had something done like that, for whatever reason, I probably wouldn't post that surgery picture.
Mike, he has no shame. And one of the things that make Mike so popular is that he's unapologetically himself. He doesn't give a shit. He can embarrass himself. He can say ridiculous things. For example, he's bigger and stronger than Mike Menser, that he knows more than every single coach, that he carried 20 pounds of body water. And so the fact that he can say these things, or shall I say he dares to say these things, it makes him stand out from the rest. When you look at many people's successes, for example, Sam Sulick, Mike Israetel, or even myself, what do we all have in common? And you're thinking, oh, you don't have anything in common. Well, we actually do. We are daring enough to put ourselves out there. Do you always agree with the things that we do? Of course not. You hate it when I promote Turk Builder Max, when I promote my supplements, when I tell you to get GLP Max instead of getting a surgery to cut out all of your skin. And why bother? Just get GLP Max. Or when I tell you to buy my cookbook, many of you hate it. Oh, how could you dare? How could you do that? How could you act that way? How can you talk that way? You're a manlet. If you just dare to be yourself, to put yourself out there, to do what you want to do, there are going to be people out there who are going to listen. And so Sam, he has done that. What did he want to do? He didn't want to follow any trends with fancy edits and so on. He just wanted to go to the gym, lift weights, and flex in the mirror. And that's what people got.
It's kind of cool too, because he actually gets to show it off.
Well, I think, why is it that people have resonated with you? A very sort of transparent look into...
And so Chris Williams says, you know what? That's exactly it. You're being transparent. People want to know the real you. What are you really like? And when people are faking it and acting different, sometimes it works, but sometimes it doesn't. But those of you who are authentic, and Sam says, you know what? There's something for everyone. The internet, the world, it's a very large place. And so no matter what thing you're into, lean on that. If you like cars, do that. If it's going to the gym, you can do that. Whatever it is that you're into, Pokemon cards, gambling. For example, look at Togi. Why do you think Togi's so successful? He puts himself out there, he makes fun of himself, he does ridiculous things, and people are into that because he is being his authentic self.
And I've seen this guy for like 7 years, and he's super big, but he's never like spoke on video.
And so Sam says, look, people want to see you talk. They want to know who you are. You can't just post yourself flexing and so on, because people want to know the real you. And One advantage of Sam Sulick is he has that soothing voice. People are saying, look, you could do ASMR, you could do audiobooks. People would listen to you talk about anything. And so combine his work ethic with his voice, his ability to speak on camera, and you have a recipe for success.
A situation where you already have something really valuable and it's your own individuality, and to try to conform to what everyone else already does is basically to lose that.
Everyone is a unique individual, and what do you have of value? Your uniqueness. And so if you can put your uniqueness out there, there will be a niche that's interested in watching you.
Like, okay, do I want to read every hate comment and take it personally and like really only look at those? Or do I want to like look at the system as it really is? So why does the negative one get so much impact?
Sam comments on how do you take criticism? Now, frankly, majority of his comments are positive, but of course there's negative comments. And so he says, look, I listen to people in real life. This internet, it's just a platform where people can say whatever they want. And so for one person who writes a negative comment, they probably thought about it really quickly, wrote the comment, and they went about their day. But for the person reading that comment, it can linger. Even Chris Williamson is saying, look, sometimes I go to bed and I'm thinking about that negative comment. I'm thinking, why are you in my head? Get away. When the majority of comments are way more positive than negative. And so many people think, well, how do you handle the hate? It isn't hate. Like, why do you think it's hate? People come up on your comment stream and say, hey, you're selling snake oil, or you're not natural, you have a lot of acne, whatever the comment may be. It's just a comment. They're not your friends. Bro might be from Bangladesh. And so why would you care? Why not think of the positive? If there's more positive than negative, then how are the comments bad? I don't know about you, but I'm an investor. I invest millions of dollars in the stock market and so on. I'm sure many of you do the same. Do you always profit? Like, of the 50 investments that you have, let's call it 50, do all 50 make positive gains? I don't think so. Mine certainly doesn't. And so perhaps you have 30 positive, they're making money, and 20 who are losing money. Think of this as comments. If you have 30 positive comments on your wall and 20 negative comments, you have more positive than negative, and so it's a plus. You're doing good. I mean, for myself specifically, people say, oh my goodness, how do you deal with all the negative comments? There's so many. It's 5%. And so if you have the majority of the comments as being positive and you have some negative comments, you should be clapping and cheering with victory. How is having a few negative comments bad? And by a few, I mean perhaps 1,000. But if you have 3,000 positive and 1,000 negative, you're doing amazing. Why don't people see that?
Remember, this guy just scrolled away. He doesn't even remember saying it. It's just a weird thing where, you know, your phone is a totally different communicative device than real life.
Why do you care about the comments on the internet? It's not real life. It's fake. It's make-believe. Half the people who are creating comment, they're just actors. You really think that when they're going about their daily life, that they're freaking out, screaming, or perhaps they have all that much energy, or perhaps they're talking like the parrot from Aladdin? Do you think I talk like that to everybody? Like I'm at the gym and somebody says, hi, can I have a photo, shake my hand and so on? You really think oh, it's Coach Greg. Hey, how do you?
I can't take it anymore.
Of course not. This is literally a show where you come and watch and you learn. We discuss various topics. And so if you're having difficulty, forget about the comments, especially the ones that are negative, and worry about real life. Do people come up and say hi? Are they positive or negative? How are your friends? How is your social life? And if it's good, your life is good. Stop worrying about comments from 15-year-old trolls on the internet.
It shouldn't happen. People shouldn't be mean, but they are going to be. That's just how it is. So that's where it's actually your responsibility to try to be impervious to it.
And so Sam is essentially saying it's your own choice. You decide to care about those comments, and that's on you. You need to be impervious to this, perhaps a little bit more stoic, and don't let the small things bother you. There was a saying I was reading in high school in grade 10. It said, don't sweat the small stuff. Everything is small stuff. You imagine you're going to sweat the comments? You're a snake oil salesman. You're a manlet. You're a hobbit. No one would ever date you. You're ugly. You have too much acne, whatever. And you think my girlfriend Mepsagram is going to care? Oh, you're a 304. You don't deserve the career that you have. You're a gold digger. I mean, do you really think that she's going to let this bother her to the extent of it's upsetting her? Like some trolls writing these things in the comments? I mean, for me, it's funny. I mean, the fact that you can get a reaction from someone that they cared so much about what you're doing that they write a comment like this on your wall, perhaps it's Instagram or YouTube, I think it's amazing that you can impact people to this extent. Mike Isertel, he said in an interview, because I told him this, I said, Mike, the internet, it's like WWE. Sometimes you play the good guy, sometimes you play the bad guy, but it's all acting.
Oh, I'm so tired. Like you can instantly do that and it's like nothing because it's this weird self-depreciation, like boo me. Things are so hard.
I mean, people are saying, hey, happy birthday. And I'm like, my response is, for me, every day is like my birthday because your friends are saying hi, they're recognizing you, you're getting perhaps more attention, you're getting gifts, you're making money, things are going good in your life. That's every day for me. And so my wish for you, I wish all of you could live your days like it's your birthday. And if you don't like birthday, perhaps like it's Christmas or Thanksgiving or some beautiful day, a wonderful day in your life. Make every day better than the last.
Before we continue, this might be the most refreshing flavor that Element has ever made. It takes the classic taste of lemonade and makes it functional.
And so he's going to have a break to advertise LMNT as if that's going to do anything. Like, come on. And so if Chris Williamson and these guys can post AG1 and this kind of stuff, I can again promote Turk Builder Max and Turk Platinum. Guys, it's a Juga Turkistanica from the T-Plug. I got it from Uzbekistan. You all know it. You know it's real. You know I've been vindicated. The other people are selling you copycat cyanosis from China. And so if you want the best Ajuga Turkistanica in the world, and by the best, I mean probably the only, I have not seen other companies selling this. And so if you thought that Derek's Turk Plus was turkesterone because it had the turkesterone molecule on the bottle, or you right-click the URL, well, I feel bad for you because you probably think that, well, it's not that effective and you haven't tried this out yet. And so what do you need to do? You need to try this. Code Greg, 15% off. And if you don't make more muscle gains than you expected, you don't have more energy than you expected, you don't recover faster than you expected, hey, you get your money back. No harm, no foul. And so give it a try. And while you're there, don't forget about GLP Max, G-Test Platinum, all the various supplements. You can get Blue Lobster, the pre-workout with Solidricide. We're making waves. Back to the video.
Like it's something that's fun on paper because you could read that and think, oh my God, if I start thinking that this way, I'll never be upset again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you're not a freaking robot.
I think here's the difference. These guys, I don't think they totally grasp it. I read the negative comments. I see them. I read the positive comments. I think about all of them. I'm like, that has a point. Like, what do they mean by that? Why would they say that? Okay, I get it. Why do they say that? Okay, I get it. What video did I do? What video do I want to do? And how can I get better? And I just record videos. If you look at my old content, you'll notice my delivery was perhaps a little bit more bland, a little bit more boring, a little bit more like Jeff Nippert, if you will, a little bit more just like talking, not having any excitement, no change in my voice, a bit more monotone, if you will. But after reading the comments when I was very emotional or passionate about certain topics and people were saying, we love this, I learned give them more of that. And so when I read the comments and I read what people are saying, sometimes it upsets me. I'm thinking, oh, it's so unfortunate that people just can't believe the truth, or they don't understand the science, or they'll think that I'm a bad person for example, defending Hussein Farhad for being natural, when he in fact is. But I'm not going to change just to appease the fans. I'm not going to be a complete asshole, desert my friends who I know are telling the truth just because I'll get more clicks, likes, and views, and obviously make more money. Of course I want to make more money, but I'm not going to lie in order to do that. Y'all will think I'm going to lie. And so you follow guys like the Catabolic Twig who don't give two shits. I've seen the conversations that he's had talking about Hussein. Even if he proves he's 100% natural, which technically he has, I'm not apologizing. And why do you think that is? They want to make more money. They're going to lie and say that they don't, but they do. And you're going to eat it up because you're probably 14 years of age. It's not your fault. You're too young. You don't know what it's like. And so perhaps when you get older, you'll be able to look back and say, you know what? I misjudged this person after all. Do you know how many people don't like my videos, the first 5, perhaps 10 that they see? And after watching 10 plus videos, they are fans for life. How do you think I have over 2 million followers? Some of you new to the channel think, yeah, it's just because you tear everyone down. And I'm thinking, do you not watch my videos? Find the person on social media that has talked more positively about Sam Sulick than myself. I want to see that name in the comment section. You put Sam down. You criticize him. You said he had acne. You said he should get off performance-enhancing drugs. Yeah, because maybe I care about his health. You just care about him looking like a freak. Who do you think cares more? The person that just wants to see the freak show or the one that wants the person to be healthy? And so I get criticized for speaking the truth, for telling you what you need to hear and not what you want to hear. And so once you've seen enough of my videos where, for example, I'll say, hey, if you're 500 pounds, you're a fat piece of shit and you need to go to the gym. Oh my God, he's so anti-body positivity. This is just a bad person. But you don't see the real message. You don't know the thousands or perhaps hundreds of thousands of people who have lost hundreds of pounds and are now healthy and actually alive because of the videos that I've made. When I read comments saying, hey, you are a bad influence, you said this person's fat, you're not nice. Okay, I see why you said that. I understand it. And I continue to make videos taking into account what you said, what they said, and what I think and what I want to do. And you keep watching. I mean, how many times have I been canceled to this point? I think it's 8 now. 8 times that I've been canceled. No views. Nobody's watching you. How many views have I gotten on the last 5 videos on The Rock? Several 500,000. And so Sam Sulick is literally getting 100,000, sometimes 1 million views on each and every video. And so clearly he knows what he's doing, and there's no way everyone is going to like those videos. I mean, there's no way. Think of it. Sam Sulick clearly is on performance-enhancing drugs. If you're anti-steroids, how are you going to like Sam? We have seen what's happened in this world. We've seen what happened to Charlie. Hey, if you like Charlie or you dislike Charlie, there's going to be somebody that's going to be there to say you're a bad person for liking him or you're a bad person for hating him. Either or, somebody's not going to like you. And so when you make videos, when you make content, when you put yourself out there, truly out there, not just summarizing and saying this is what the science says, I read these articles and these articles said that, that's not opinion of yourself. You're saying what they said. When you said, I think this, I think that when I do this, I should do that. I think that if you date a girl, you should do this because this is my experience. Oh, that's bad. You're a misogynist. You're putting yourself out there and you're getting criticized. And if you think that being criticized is a bad thing, well, that's on you. And so Sam is saying, look, I don't allow it to bother me, to fester. I understand that they're just doing their thing. They're just sitting there making comments. And if I let that ruin my day, then that's my problem. The single greatest skill you can develop is the ability to stay in a great mood in the absence of things to be in a great mood about. And so I thought, you know, what a great comment. You know, when there's nothing to be positive about, to be able to be positive. I told this to Mepsagram and she says, but Greg, every single day, automatically, there's something to be positive about. Oh my goodness, it's almost like I had an epiphany. Of course, absolutely. And so to sit there and be sulking on any day, remember, every day is like my birthday. How on your birthday can you actually be sad? But you're thinking, yeah, but where perhaps somebody died, you lost your job, your girlfriend broke up with you. Yup, all bad. But is there something else that is good? Last I checked, you're still breathing. Most of us probably have a roof over our heads. Did you just eat? Is there food in the fridge? Do you have friends? Can you call your friend up on the phone? Or perhaps you can even drive to their house. You don't just text them. Call them. Hey, you know, this has got some bad news. A really close friend of mine died. I need to talk to someone. Do you have anyone you can talk to? Thank God I have some friends. Thank God I have people who care about me. And so there's always something positive in your life that you can cling to when the things are going bad. You know, obviously, all of us at some point or another are going to go through some kind of a shitstorm that life is throwing us curveballs, but we got to learn to hit them out of the park. And so whatever that may be, think of the positive. There's always something positive. I know that there is. Perhaps more positive for some than others, but there's always something. There's got to be a reason to live. There's got to be something that's going to make you happy on this earth, and lean on that. Hope you learned something, a little bit more about Sam. Probably yapped about myself a little bit too much, but hey, that's what I do. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. Please like the video if you liked it. Don't forget to watch one of those 2 bloops. And of course, if you want to get your blood work done, or you're interested in taking, for example, Talmosart and Cialis, perhaps semaglutide like Ozempic or tirzepatide, Algo RX. Code Greg, 10% off. Very, very cheap prices. Half price for most items from Merrick Health. And so if you're looking to be safe and healthy, you got to get to Algo RX. And until next time, momentous clothing for the win. I'm out.